So hello friends, welcome to my channel. I'm in coaching center. So today I'm going to explain our 7th standard social 7th chapter, human environment, settlements, transport and communication. So in the beginning of this, in 7th standard social, in first chapter we have learned about earlier human beings. They depended on their nature for food. They depended on food, clothes and shelter, but with time they have learned some of the new good skills, how to grow the food and how to build homes and better means of transport, how to develop it and how to get better communication. In this way they modified the environment where they were living. So they like that only settlements or places where people build their homes, where the people build their homes and they live. Early human beings, they lived in caves, trees. When early human beings, they started growing some of the crops. It became them necessary to have some permanent houses as for the storage of the crops. The settlements grew near the settlements were made near the river valleys as water was available and their land were fertile, so therefore the settlements was made near the river valleys. With the development of trade and commerce and with the development of manufacturing, human settlement it became larger, it started to expand and settlement flourished and and civilization developed near river valleys. So civilization started developing near river valleys. And do you recall that some of the names of civilization that has been grown near the banks of the rivers, like Indus Valley civilization, Tigris, Nile, and Havange? These are some of the civilization that was grown near the river banks. Next, settlements, it can be permanent or temporary. There are two types of settlements. One is permanent, one is temporary. Settlements which are made or occupied for a short time, for a short period of time that are made. The settlements are for a short period of time which is occupied. That settlements are called as the temporary settlements. The people living in some of the deep forest, hot and cold deserts and mountains often dwell in such temporary settlements. These are often called as the temporary settlements. Here the people they living in these places they practice hunting, gathering, shifting, cultivation, transhumance. These all things they practice in the these are the practice followed by the people who are living in the near the temporary settlements. Next, more and more settlements today are they are permanent settlements. You can see more permanent settlements. In these settlements people build home to live in. People build homes so that they can live there only, they can stay in that place only. So let us take an example. Now transhumance means it is a seasonal movement of people. The people move from one place to another place seasonally. During the season, people who rear animals move in search of new pasture. According to the change of seasons, move in search of new food. Now let us take an example. It was Mary's birthday party. She and her friend were waiting for Kuprit to arrive so that the Mary could cut her cake. At last, Kuprit arrived, tired, coughing and wheezing. When he arrived, she explained that the traffic jam was terrible. Kuprit explained her that there was a very more traffic jam. Mary's mother, Mrs. Thomas patted Gurpreet's back and said of the pollution in our city. Prasad has recently come from his village. So Prasad, a person who has recently come from village. He asked, why do we have such much traffic, such much pollution in our cities? As the number of vehicles is increasing day by day due to the growing of population in these cities, Mary's father, Mr. Thomas, replied, because of growing of new because of more vehicles and growing population of the city, the pollution in the city and the traffic jam in the city is increasing. And so our mother replies, then why are people coming to the city? Then why are, if it is more growth in the population is growing in the city, then why people from village come to cities? Mary's mother asked. So they marry further, she inquires. They come looking for jobs, better education and medical facilities, as there is good education, medical facilities in the cities. They come for in search of that. So if so many people keep coming to cities, where will the people of city live? Where will the people of cities live if that much people come to city? Mr. Thompson replied for her daughter Mary. Mr. Thompson said to her daughter that is why you see so many slums. That is why you can see so many slums and squatter settlements where people stay in congested and unhygienic condition. Shortage of power and water supply are some of the common problems in the city. Her Mary's father, Mr. Thompson, said. Prasad said, our villages may not have any big cinema halls, well-equipped schools and good hospital, but we have a lot of open spaces and fresh air for breathing. When my grandfather was sick, we had to take him to city hospital, Prasad said to them. So from the above conversation happened between the Mary and his father and his friends, you can observe that two different types of pictures you can observe. One is the rural and the urban settlement. The villages or rural settlements where people are engaged in activities like agriculture, fishing, forestry, crafts, work and trading and many other things. Rural settlement can be compact or scattered. It can be compact or scattered. A compact settlement is a closely built area of dwellings, whereas flat land is available for them. In a scattered settlements, dwelling or spaced over an extensive area, These type of settlements it is mostly found in hilly tracts. In the hilly areas, you can find these types of settlements. Thick forest and regions of extreme climate you can find in these hilly areas. In rural areas, as you know, people build houses to suit their environment, the houses that suit for their environment, that rural environment, people build their houses. In regions of heavy rains, they have slanting roofs so that the rain water can go easily down. They are in the rural areas for when heavy rain comes. In the area where in the rural areas where the heavy rain will come, in that places they build homes with slanting roofs. Places where water accumulates in the rainy season, the houses are constructed on a raised platform or slits. The houses are constructed in a raised platform or slits here. The houses are at certain height so that the water may not come if the overflow is here. Here you can see the water is going down because water is here down. Here you can see the water is increasing. Water level is increasing. So to stop the coming of water into the house, they built the house in a little bit height. Thick mud-walled houses that have thatched roof are very common in the areas of hot climate. They are very common. The materials they use are stones, mud, clay, straw, etc. They use for construction of the houses. The towns are small and the cities are larger urban settlements. In urban areas, the people are engaged. In manufacturing, trading, and services. They are people in the urban areas. They engage. Name some of the villages, towns, and cities that you know in your states. So, Iglo here you can see. Next, transport. Transport is the means by which people and goods we can be easily moved from one place to another. In the earlier days, it took a great deal of time to travel long distances. It took a great deal of time. People had to walk and used animals for carrying their goods, and invention of the wheel was made to transport very much easier. With the passage of time, different means of transport were developed, but even today people use animals for transportation in some place. So here you can see a horse cart that are used as means of transport. In our country, donkey, mules, bullocks, and camels are very much common. You can find that animals in any place in our countries. So, in the Andes mountains of South Africa, elams are used. They are yaks in Tibet. As are yaks in Tibet, like yaks that are you can see in Tibet. Like that, elams are used in the South America. The early traders from other country, they used to take several months to reach our country or India. They took either from sea route or the land route. Aeroplane have made them travel faster than now, as they may know before they were taking several months to reach India. Now they are taking just 6 to 8 hours to travel from India to Europe or from Europe to India. Modern means of transport thus it has saved more time and energy of the thing that we were using during olden age. We were using bullocks, donkey, mules, their energy and our energy also. Now there is four major means of transport: roadways, railways, waterways, airways. Now in these four major ways of transportation, first let us learn about the roadways. Roadways, it is most commonly means of transport, especially for short distances or road. For short distances, their routes are made. They can be metalled from puka or unmetalled. They can be from bimetal. The plains have a dense network of road. Roads have also been built for terrains like in deserts, forests, and even in high mountains. Also, you can see some roads built. Manali Leh Highway in Himalayan mountain is one of the highest roadways in the world. The Manali Leh is highest roadways in the world. Roads built underground, or they are called as the subways or underpath. Flyovers are built over raised structure. Some of the flyovers are built. This is about roadways. Next is railways. The railways carry heavy goods and people over for a long distance for a quickly and cheaply, very quickly and in a less amount. The invention of the steam engine and the industrial revolution, it helps for the speedy development of the transportation and rail transport, speedy development of rail transportation also. Diesel and electrical engines have been largely replaced. After the steam engines, diesels and electrics are now, you can see they are very much used in railways. You can see in present days, when you travel, you may see some of the diesels and some of the more electrical engines also. In places, some of the super fast trains like bullet trains have been also introduced. Journey faster, to make people journey very easy and faster. And the railway network is very much developed over the plain areas. It is very much developed, the railways, and advanced technological skills enabled for laying of new railway lines in difficult mountain terrains also. But you can see these AI are much fewer in numbers. Indian railway network is very much developed. It is largest. It is the largest in Asia. Indian railways. See the trains up. See here you can see the Trans-Siberian Railways in the longest railway system connecting St. Petersburg in western Russia to Vladivostok on the Pacific coast here. Vladivostok till here it is submarine railway. Next, waterways. After this, waterways, as you know, we have already learnt about that since earlier days. Waterways were used for transportation. Waterways was also used for transportation from many years, from many decades. Waterways are it is very much cheapest for carrying heavy and bulky goods for long distance. There are mainly two types of waterways: inland waterways and sea routes. Navigable rivers and lakes are used in inlands for navigation. You can use navigable rivers and lakes for in the inland waterways. Some of the important inland waterways are Ganga Brahmaputra river system, the Great Lakes in North America, and the River Nile in Africa. These are some of the examples of inland waterways. Next, sea route. Sea route and ocean routes are mostly used for transporting merchandise and goods. More goods from one country to another for transportation of the goods. A sea route is most important and used. These routes are connected with some ports. It connects with some ports. Some of the important ports in the world are like Singapore and Mumbai in Asia, New York and Los Angeles in North Africa, Rio de Janeiro in South Africa, Durban in Cape Town in Africa, Sydney in Australia, London and Rotterdam in Europe, and many other ports are available in the whole world that helps sea transport for the transportation of goods in sea. It helps. This is the fastest way of transport developed in the earlier in the 20th century. It is also the most expensive due to the cost of fuel. Air traffic is adversely affected by bad weather or fog or storm. Air traffic you can also see. And it is the only mode of transport to reach the most remote and distinct areas, especially in the places where there is no roads and railways to reach that place. It helps. Helicopters are extremely used in most inaccessible areas and in time of calamities for rescuing people and distribution of food, water and clothes and medicines during calamities. It helps. Some of the important airports are in Delhi, New Mumbai, New York, London, Paris, Frankfurt and Cairo. After this all transportation, communication is also most important. It is the process from which we convey messages to other people. With the development of new technologies, humans have also developed new types of communication, and fast modes of communication also been developed by the humans. The advancement in the field of communication, the new advancement in the field of communication, it has brought about an informational revolution in the world, and different modes of communication, they are being used to provide information for the people, to educate as well as to entertain for the people. The communication also helps. Through newspaper, radio and television we communicate with large number of people. We communicate in the olden days. These are called as the mass media, and the satellites have been made communication even faster. The satellites have made the communication, and the satellites have helped in oil exploration, survey for forest, underground water, mineral wealth, weather forecast and disaster warning. Now we can send electronic mails or emails through our internet, wireless telephone communication throughout our cellular phones, and we have become very popular today. Cell phones have become very popular today. Internet not only provides us with worldwide information and interaction, but has also made our lives more comfortable. Now we can reserve tickets for railways, airways, and even cinemas and hotel sittings at home only with the help of the internet. So here you can see the image worldwide major seaports and airports image. Here you can see. Wait, I will show you like that, like this. I will show you. See, this is the worldwide seaport 1 minute image. So okay friends, of this interconnectivity of people, services and institutions for interconnection across the world, we use largely the communication. And here you can see the picture of ports. There are many ports in the whole world. So air routes, sea routes, these red lines are the air routes, you can see blue lines are the sea routes. So okay friends, I will see you in my next video explain another chapter. So I think you understand your chapter 7 chapter human environment and settlements, transportation and communication. I will see you in my next video. Till then, take care, have a nice day, bye my dear friends.